renewal of mind and reconfiguration of our thoughts that we are able to position ourselves to receive all the blessings that God has set aside for us. For it is not us who are waiting for the blessing, but rather the blessing that is waiting for us to be in the right frame of mind to receive it. I hear a clarion call. It's time to rise and shine. Time to get what's mine. Yeah.
Dayu family, and welcome to another special message from the Ancient Ones. My name is Dr. Mumbi. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways, family, and that you're moving into living life very much on your own terms, which is exactly what I'm about to talk, what I want to talk to you about, or what the Ancient Ones, a kind of message that they've been giving me since the beginning of January. This is such a special year, 2023, equal to the number 7. We are in the 7th hour, the 7th day, family. The world that we knew before no longer exists, and two competing worlds are emerging and fighting for our attention. But before I even get into that, special shout out to our Patreon family. Thank you so much to every single person that has supported us and continues to support us. We do have an annual membership, so you just pay one time a year if you want to support the Wake Up Africa movement. A lot of you have been talking about the introduction song that I've recently had on the show. There's a link down below if you'd like to purchase it and also support the Wake Up Africa movement, and there are some ringtones, so definitely check out the description bar below. But the main message now, family, is that we have to be aware that there are two worlds that are competing for our attention: the New World Order and the New Earth. And both of them are like fighting in earnest to try and, not both actually. There's one world, the New World Order, which is trying to manipulate our choices. And that's the message that the Ancient Ones wanted me to bring today, is don't allow anybody, family, and especially the spiritual realm, because there's a lot of spiritual interference at this time where, different entities, not just the angelic realm is here to help us. The ancestral realm is here to help us. The animal guides are here to help us in a massive way. But at the same time, we also have the negative entities, which need us to remain in a negative perspective so that they can, or a negative frequency, or a negative vibration, whichever way you want to look at it, so that they can stay in this realm, so that they can stay in this environment, so that they can stay in your life. And really, the only way you change your life, family, is through your choices. Every choice counts. And it's overwhelming to think of the big picture. I think it's very important to have the big picture in mind. But it's very overwhelming to always move every day towards that big picture. Then sometimes we get discouraged. But what I've found is if I make sure that every choice, even the smallest choice about whether I entertain a friendship or not, whether I attend a certain gathering or not, whether I'm involved in a certain community or not, all those individual choices are determining whether you're moving towards the new earth or moving towards the new world order. And, there's such a divide, family. I don't know if you've noticed it, because a lot of people have chosen to remain in the narrative of Babylon. And so I see it in the emails, the currency is collapsing. I mean, the currency has been collapsing for how many years? Oh, they're doing this. Oh, they're doing that. There's war here. There's war there. They're taking this from Africa. They're taking that from Africa. And I'm just not connected to that narrative anymore, because I've made choices that have pulled me out of that narrative and are pulling me into a brand new path that needs my full attention, my nurturing, my, involvement, and which is like the only way it continues to come to me is if I continue to choose that reality. And so every choice counts, family. Don't let the New World Order or the way the world is now rob you of your choices, because it's all mental. I've told you the warfare is mental. which means the liberation is mental. And a lot of the hard work, the heavy lifting, you have to do for yourself. There's no savior who's going to drop from the sky, family. Because even if a so called savior was to drop from the sky, your mentality alone, the way you think, will limit you from being able to completely see that, recognize that, and actually have it benefit your life. Because so much is distorted. So even that savior you're waiting for, it's funny because there's an article I shared on Patreon, which was talking about how I think it's something like over 75 or 76% of Google images of God are of a white man. And this has resulted in a lot of people thinking that, the Mzungu is the perfect one for leadership, and now questioning the leadership of the African because we're always portrayed as the demon and the devil. And this has had a massive impact, family, on the narrative that comes around us, in terms of the narrative in terms of work. Even if you look at the narrative about Africa and how they talk about Africa, it's all about oh, we're corrupt, but we can't be corrupt alone. Oh, we're doing this. It's so funny because I was just reading an article, and they were talking about how the US is about to default, like they've hit their debt ceiling. I think of several $trillion, and they're now panicking, and they're going to be removing certain benefits that people were getting. But you'll find that in the global narrative, the main countries that you hear are hitting default are Africa. So it doesn't benefit you to be part of that story, because that story is manipulated. It's all about he said, she said, and it's not engulfed in reality, family. Nature is reality. The trees, the ocean, the forests. That is the reality you need, family. And that's what's going to keep you alive. And, it's not about, you need to make those big decisions in your life about where you're moving. And for you guys, there's been such a powerful push with the beginning of the 2023 for people to kind of get their New Year resolutions. I really hope that you've at least created a vision board of where you're seeing your life ultimately going. And then you can break it down into steps, into individual goals, into individual indicators. But really, the way you are going to change your life, family, is through your choices and making the right and best choices for you. That's the only way you can do it, family. And it can be done, because it starts with choosing where to live, choosing what to eat, choosing what to watch. It's all about, first of all, getting your five senses under your control. So what you listen to, what you watch, what you eat, what you read, all of that needs to come into what you listen. Did I say listen to? I don't know, but just the senses. And then, of course, there's higher senses, even your spiritual senses, starting to attune to the angels that are around you, to the spiritual beings that are around you, so that you're starting to see the bigger world that is unfolding, family. Because we are truly in the best of times, and we are truly in the worst of times. And there has been that separation. And you'll notice it, especially with the jibby jab. You'll notice that literally the people who are still in the New World Order and following the news and following all the lifestyle shows and this and that, they seem almost outside of reality. It's like what is getting ready to occur is going to creep up on them, because the agenda of the New World Order is to have the entire reality under their control. And we've talked about food, family, how they've come for the seeds. And recently there was an article that showed that they're even now vaccinating the queen bees. I think there was a university or some kind of research institute in Georgia that was talking about how they've been given the grant to vaccinate queen bees against, all these things. They always make it seem beautiful when it's ultimately diabolical, family. So I hope you've been heeding the warning I've been giving for the last 3 years now, as we now approach the finish line in terms of really closing out this reality and really entering a new world, family, a new earth. I hope you've been stocking up on your food. I hope you've moved out of the cities, or at least created a place that if sugar hits the fan, you can move out of the cities. The only reason, family, to be honest with you, that sugar has not hit the fan is because enough people are saying no. Enough people don't want the world to end, which is another reason why Babylon is still doing it. But Babylon is unable to implement their agenda because so many truth-sayers are canceling it out. And so we're in this mental paradigm right now where like there's a war for the soul of the world. What will the soul of the world believe? What will the soul of the, or will the soul of the world move from belief to knowing so that the soul of the world can create a brand new reality for all of us? That is basically it, family. But remember, all your choices matter. And it started with the choice we made when everyone went into lockdown. Some of us stood firm and said we were not going to be part of the experiment. And it has had ramifications. But I almost feel like we're now coming out of the woods. Let me know if this has been your experience in the comments below, because I really do feel like the worst is over. And now it's like we're finding our footing in the new world. And what I've found is that, our ancient ones, our ancestors, our guardian angels will test us by wanting to see, by bringing old narrative friends into our lives and seeing, will you tolerate it or will you stand alone and keep moving? By dangling carrots from the New World Order, by trying to discourage us the way the New World Order used to. But if you are now in a new mindset, you know that no is just don't go this way, go that way. It's either for your protection or your redirection. But you are never denied anything. And everything is at your disposal, depending on how you can get it here. I hope you're still making your spiritual life your priority. There are so many beings among us right now, family. This is such a magical time. I can't even get into it. But I am seeing massive miracles, unexplainable miracles manifesting in my own life because I'm also dreaming big, regardless of the odds, regardless of what happens every day to try and knock me down. I am still dreaming big for tomorrow or for that day, family. And making choices just means being committed to moving in the direction of your ultimate dream every single day. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks to every single person that has bought our single. Change Your Mind. Definitely check it out. The links are down below. Until next time, family. Tuko pamoja.
I hear a clarion call. It's time to rise and shine. Time to get what's mine. Yeah. And I want it all. Beyond the riches of the world. To the promises of God for my life.